Culture gets blamed for a lot of failure factors in deals, and to be sure, there's a lot of fallout from misunderstanding and misintegrating culture. But at the end of the day, there's more to it than culture. We believe that business model is one of the principal drivers of a lot of the failure factor statistics that we read about in every magazine article and every interview. And I want to talk a little bit about business model, what it is, and the importance of understanding business model for both M&A due diligence, target selection, and integration. To do that, let me tell you a story. There were two grocery chains a few years ago. One was a major national discount chain, very well known, very experienced management team with a great track record of successful M&As behind it. And they decided to buy in a regional geographic expansion. They happened to target what I'll call a concept pioneer. Very successful store in its own right, and the two business models are important. The discounter obviously was very committed to low cost and private label brands. The concept pioneer was very famous in its field for all kinds of innovations throughout the industry. European feel in the markets, floral displays, delis, takeout, vast number of product diversification SKUs. And what happened, the analysts loved the deal, the boards wholeheartedly approved the deal, and within 18 months post-close, the target business had lost 25% market share to its key competitor, and they never recovered. The buyer tried to sell the chain, wrote it off as a discontinued operation, ultimately reorganized with about a third fewer stores. And the issue was business model. They misunderstood the implications of the discount or cost-driven business model versus the pioneer and concept development, which was a very service-oriented, customer-oriented, and very product-oriented kind of business model. And so that term needs to mean something very specific to M&A people. It's not just a generic term, business model, but it means things like what is your customer value proposition? What do you do unique or different to create value so that customers want to come back? What is your pricing model, your margin strategy, your vendors, your channels, your customer segments, and who owns the customer relationships? And there's probably another 10 or 20 different specific elements that we'd encourage you to look at in terms of defining the business model in target selection, in due diligence, and certainly paying a lot of attention to that in integration. When you rip apart certain aspects of the business model, that's when you're destabilizing the business and at substantial risk of destroying deal value.